lot of pharmaceutical companies have a lot of operations going on in South America. There's been some, I don't want to cite any particular events just in case I don't have them correct, but there's been a lot of severely unethical conduct. But, that specifically South America, but mostly with living things, because there's only so much you can learn from something that's dead. And something that's essentially a photograph of what the animal was. So you're not going to learn anything about its true biological structures and how that might impact, that it might carry a bacterium that's good for clearing up, some kind of psoriasis, or we'll never have that type of information. Living species, absolutely, especially in the field of botany, mycotoxins. Mycotoxin, no, what the hell's a plant toxin? Crap.
I call them plant toxins.
So these plant toxins can do all kinds of fascinating things. And same with, there's a lot of research being done on frogs. A lot of the frogs that I work with, Stanford University gets frogs all the time because they're doing all these research studies on different elements of their biology and how it, if we can find useful things in it. Although I think the last bunch they got was about a color study. They're doing a study on colors. I don't know.
Well, so this frogs?
Yeah, so this is my third weird job. We've only covered.
I was just gonna say, you got a frog thing, man.
Yeah, so my former partner in the fossil thing, brought me into his world, and 20 years ago, he was essentially the first gringo to go down to Peru and navigate. He has a Peruvian business partner named Manuel, and the two of them, did something amazing. They essentially, there's all these frogs that are in Canada now because of Mark and Manuel and the work they did in Peru. And they essentially navigated the bureaucracy and figured out how to get CITES permits and how to, they've described new species of frogs and stuff like that. And so when I met Mark about 5 or 6 years ago, we met through fossils. And I remember messaging him one time, and he wrote back and he said something to the effect of, "Hey man, my internet signal is spotty right now. I'm in the Amazon right now. So I'll get back to you when I get back to the hotel," kind of thing. It's like, what the fuck are you doing in the Amazon? He's like, "Oh well, it's it's not a big deal, but this is what I do." It's like, what? Like you sell dart frogs all over the world, and so he is probably.
Wow.
He's probably the single biggest exporter of frogs, at least for, in his heyday, probably in the world, he was exporting more frogs than anyone on Earth. He's got one named after him. It's
really.
So I came in and I got to see the operation when it was kind of winding down. At one point, he had 700 breeding groups, 2 massive barns full of animals, and
all frogs.
All frogs, yeah, frogs, toads, tree frogs, all kinds of stuff, and essentially he was winding down, and then he was going to get out of it, and I kind of said to him, well, I feel like I'm missing out on an opportunity here, and it was kind of like a light went off in his head. He's like, "Do you want to do this?" I was like, "Yeah." So we.